Hi, welcome to the Improved Garage YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be talking about earbuds again, but just bear with me here on this one. So I've been looking for a pair of everyday earbuds that I could wear and not hate and not be annoyed by them and not have weird quirks and problems and different things. So I've kind of gone through, there's 7 pairs here, and these are some of the best ones that, you know, from a reviews perspective that are recommended. So we've got the AirPods Pros, I've got the Beats Studio Buds, I've got the Bose, these are the QuietComfort, I've got the Sony long part number 1000XM4 or something or other. These are Skullcandy Sesh ANC. These are Sennheiser Momentum 3s, and these are Studio 12s. So I'm going to talk through them really quick and try to be brief. I'm going to save the best for last. So when we're talking about these, the Studio 12s really aren't in the same league as the rest of them because they don't have active noise canceling. These are something that I got from Bespoke Post. You know, they're fine. They work just fine, but they're nothing special, nothing crazy. All right, so next, the AirPods and the Beats Studio. I'm going to kind of lump these two together because they're both owned by Apple. They both have similar feature sets. These are charged with Lightning. These are charged with USB-C. The AirPods have one button on each device. So on these, single tap is play pause. Pressing and holding can do Siri, or it can activate noise canceling. Same thing on these. They have a single button, and it's right on the end. So the battery life is pretty good. They work fairly well. The noise canceling isn't terrible. The thing that really I don't like about them is that you don't have a lot of control with just these units from a remote perspective. You can play pause, you can turn on and off noise canceling, or you can turn on and off Siri, but that's it. You can't next track, backtrack, you can't turn up volume, turn down volume, do any of that kind of stuff. And also, these are both really good at picking up things that are around you. Meaning, like, if you're on the phone with somebody and there's somebody that's over there that's talking, they'll hear them. They're really good at picking up a lot of stuff around you and not canceling that noise out. So they do a noise canceling from the perspective that I can't hear a lot of things that are going on around me when I'm wearing them. But for people that I'm on the phone with, they can also hear things that are going on around me because the microphone arrays are just really, really sensitive. I like these better than these. I really don't like the AirPods at all. I like these better, but they're still, you know, one of my lowest picks here. Bose QuietComfort. So these are 200 bucks. They're on sale for 200 bucks. They're normally like in the 280 range, but you can get them on sale on a pretty regular basis for 200 bucks. And these are both in that same price category. I think these were like 150 and these were 225 or something like that. So these are 200 bucks. And they do fit well. They've got the wingtips on them, so they fit in your ear really well, and they have really good noise canceling. So the ability to block out ambient sound around you is phenomenal on these. It's the best of anything that I have here. The downside to these is that their microphone array is just like these, too sensitive, and they pick up way too much stuff going on around you. So when you're on the phone with somebody, you know, like if you turn on the sink to fill up a cup with water, somebody told me that it sounded like I was inside a waterfall all of a sudden. Like they just couldn't hear a thing that I was saying. So, you know, from that perspective, they're fine, but I don't think that they're $229 fine or $200 fine. I think that they're, you know, if they were half the price, they would be a reasonable value. I think the noise canceling is great. So if you're buying them to listen to music and you want noise canceling, these are a good fit. If you're going to be on planes all day, every day, and that's what you're buying them for, great fit. These are the ones. These are the ones to buy. They have an app. You can control them from the app. The Bose app is pretty good. It gives you a lot of different customizations and you know, capabilities. One thing that I will say, just being transparent, I bought a set of these and they did not work out of the box. Well, they worked out of the box, but one of the buds went dead and I could never charge it. There was a problem with the case or a problem with one of the buds that it would not charge out of the box, and I returned them the next day and I got another set. So that's what these are. So that leaves 3 left. So we've got the Skullcandy Sesh ANC, we've got the Sonys, and we've got the Sennheisers. So next I'm going to talk about the Skullcandy Sesh ANC. So these are kind of in a different league than the others because they're a lot less expensive. These are like 70 bucks at Costco. These are a Costco exclusive. I cannot find them anywhere else, so I can't put a link in the description for Amazon. You can buy the Sesh in other places, but you can't buy the Sesh Inc., which is the active noise canceling version, anywhere that I could find but Costco. So it seems like this is something that is made for Costco specifically, but they're like 70 bucks. And they work really well. They have really good noise canceling. They fit in your ears very well. The case is really nice. Here's what the actual units look like. So you can see that they kind of like go down into your ear. And they work well. They have decent controls. You don't have a ton of customization, but there is a decent amount of control. There is a Skullcandy app. The battery life is pretty good, and you know, the case is reasonably nice. The noise canceling is good, and also it's good at blocking out sound that's around you. So when you're on the phone and you're doing other things or walking or there's wind or whatever, they're pretty good about blocking out the things that are around you. So if you're somebody that needs a good all-around pair and you don't want to get into crazy money, these for 70 bucks are a really, really good pick. Now, if you're looking to move up a level, that's when we get into the Sonys and the Sennheisers. So the Sonys, this is what they look like. They make these in white and black, and this is what a bud looks like. Now, these buds are on the larger side. The actual body of this needs to fit inside your ear, and oops, I'm standing here with it backwards. This needs to fit inside your ear, and it is big. You can see that it kind of fills up my entire ear, and I've got medium size ears. They're not huge, they're not small, but these are tight in my ears. What's really cool about these is the noise canceling is really good as long as you've got a good fit and you have the right rubber things on here, which they make multiple ones. Actually, these are foam, they're not rubber, which is a nice upgrade as well. They have really good noise canceling. They're really good about blocking out ambient noise around you, and they have some really cool features. So I'll give you a good example. These do something where they can detect my voice when I'm talking, and they will automatically mute my music or will pause my music and disable noise canceling while I'm talking. So here's a great scenario. So I'm in the kitchen, I'm putting away the groceries, or I'm making dinner, I'm doing something, and I've got these in my ears. My hands are a mess or full or whatever. And somebody walks in my kitchen and they inevitably start talking to me. So I always previously have to pause it and then say what, and then they repeat themselves, and then I have the conversation, then I unpause it and I go back to whatever it was that I was doing. What's cool about these is if you have these in your ear and you're listening to music and noise canceling is on and everything is going, when I start talking, this detects that, and it's only if I start talking, not if somebody starts talking to me. If I start talking, this detects that, it pauses my music, it disables noise canceling, and it makes it so that I can now hear the things around me. So I say what, and then somebody can talk, and then we have a conversation, we go back and forth, and then when I stop talking for a length of time, which I can set in the app, 5 seconds, 15 seconds, or 30 seconds, I have it set at 15, which is the default, it will automatically activate noise canceling, start playing my music, and allow me to continue what I was doing without me ever having to touch them. That's really cool. You can adjust what the buttons do, so you can make it do like next track or last track or noise canceling or not noise canceling or a bunch of other different things. So there's a lot of control. The case is pretty small, which is nice. The battery life has been really good. I haven't run them dead in a day yet, so that's great. And they do have an app that allows you to adjust a lot of different controls. There is a good EQ that you can play with, and you can make it more bass heavy, more treble heavy, or bright. And you can adjust all kinds of different settings in the sound profile. I think that these sound really, really good. There's just a lot of options to make them sound good. And these are, I paid $229 for them. They're regularly around $280, $290, but they go on sale fairly regularly. And the Sonys also have the ability to do something where they detect whether you're sitting, walking, or running, and they can have different amounts of noise cancellation based on what you're doing. And they can also do something with sound zones where I can say, like, every time I'm home, I want you to have the highest amount of noise canceling, but if I'm at the mall, I want you to have the lowest amount of noise canceling, or whatever. You can set these like geofences where there's different noise canceling profiles based on where you are. These are all optional features that you can use, but it's kind of nice to have them. So the Sennheisers. The Sennheisers have by far the nicest case. It's like cloth covered, it's USB-C, as was the Sony's USB-C, I know I didn't mention that. USB-C charging. They fit in your ear really well. They're a nice size, and they don't take up your entire ear or fit tightly in your ear. They have a nice app, and the app has a lot of functionality, a lot of adjustments, a lot of different things that you can do. So there is an equalizer that you can set. There's different types of transparency mode. There's an anti-wind mode specifically to handle wind that you might hear around you, like if you're running or if you're biking or something along those lines, or just outside on a very windy day. And then you can determine whether, when I turn off transparency mode, is that going to pause my music or is it not going to pause my music? So what's kind of cool is the way that I have them set up is if I've got both in my ear, when I press this button, it pauses my music. When I press this button, it plays my music. When I press this button, it turns on transparency mode and disables noise canceling. And then when I press that again, it turns noise canceling back on and it resumes playing my music. So it's a pause and disabling of noise canceling at the same time. I do have to touch these. They don't have that thing where they can sense when I'm talking like the Sonys have, but you know, that's probably the only downside that I would say to them so far. They do have a ton of touch controls on them. So I can say, like, if I touch it, let's see. So if I press and hold this one, it turns my volume up. If I press and hold this one, it turns my volume down. A single tap is play pause. A single tap is transparency mode. Double tap for next track. Double tap for last track. Tap 3 times to shut off noise canceling or adjust the noise canceling mode. Tap 3 times for my voice assistant, which in this case would be Siri. And I can adjust all of those things. There's a whole bunch of different options here where I can say what they do. So each unit has the ability to detect a press and hold, a single tap, a double tap, or a triple tap. And these are all of the options that they give us. Play, pause, next track, previous track, volume up, volume down, noise canceling, transparency mode, and voice assistant. So realistically, every single option that they have, you can do by knowing what does what. They do have sound zones as well, which is kind of what I described with the geofencing on the Sonys. So I can say that when I'm at my house, it's going to have a certain level of transparency. If I go to the mall, it's going to have a certain level of transparency, and you can set that up for each one. The Sennheiser has a lot of different options for adjusting your sound. There's some, equalizer presets. They have like a dance and a hip hop and a couple other, little things, and then you can create your own custom EQ settings with this thing called a sound check, which gives you these like different EQ curves, and you go through and you select the option that sounds best for you, and it kind of goes through like a thing so that you can kind of tune them to yourself. The Sennheiser ones are the only ones that I have here that are from a company that specializes in professional audio or audio reproduction equipment. Sennheiser makes microphones and pro audio and PA equipment. That's where they started. Sony makes consumer electronics. Apple makes computers. So Sennheiser is the one with the history in audio reproduction, and they're the ones that honestly have the best sound quality. But the Sonys are really good, and they have a ton of adjustability. I just want to be very clear about that. Which one of them would I pick? Well, I guess it really depends on the situation. If I was looking for something inexpensive, good all-arounder, something cheap that I could pick up and not necessarily care too much about, maybe something I want to have 2 or 3 pairs of in case one's dead, the Skullcandy Sesh ANC are a really good option, honestly. And I've tried a bunch of different things around this price point. JBL, Jabra. I did have $200 Jabras at one point, and they were terrible. I had some JLab buds, and they were terrible as well. These are really, really good all around. They have great noise canceling, they have good sound quality, good battery life, and they're good at canceling the things that are around you so that somebody you're on the phone with doesn't hear them. The Bose I would only pick if I was buying them to use on an airplane and really for nothing else. If I want this for noise canceling, never to talk on the phone, just for noise canceling, I would buy these. They're really good for that. But I will say that these and these are like, if the Bose are a 10 at noise canceling, these are both like 9s. They're both really, really good as long as you get the fit right. So honestly, for the ability for these to handle phone calls and to do other things really, really well, I would say I wouldn't buy the Bose under just about any circumstances. So if I want something that has a lot of customization, a lot of ability to, to do things automatically or automagically, the Sonys have the most of that. They can pick up where I'm talking, they can automatically disable the noise canceling, they can automatically pause my music. When I stop talking, they automatically do their thing. When I'm running versus walking, it automatically does different noise canceling modes. All of that happens automatically, and it works really, really well. Oftentimes when things do things automatically, it sucks. My adaptive cruise control in the Honda isn't great. So this works really, really well. These have the best sound quality. They have really good noise canceling. They don't do a lot of things automatically. They can do things with geofencing, but not really the picking up of talking and stuff like that. So, I would say these are probably slightly better if you care about those automatic features and they work well for you and what you want to do with them. If you're looking for something that just has excellent sound quality, great audio reproduction, good noise canceling, the ability to block out ambient noise when you're on the phone with somebody so that they can't hear what's going on in the background, these are a fantastic option, and they definitely have the best the best sound quality of every one that I have here. Now, I'm obviously not testing every single thing. I don't have the Shures here, and I own a pair of Bluetooth Shures. I'm not incredibly impressed with them. I've never been really impressed with them, so I didn't get into those options. There was already, these 3 by themselves were $750. Like it's getting a little crazy. And honestly, I'm going to return these because I don't really care for the Bose. The Sennheiser and the Sonys I'm going to keep, and I'm going to continue to use them. And if I have a problem within I'm about a week and a half into my 30-day return window for both of these. If I have a problem with either one of them within that 30-day return window, I will send them back and keep the other one. But if they both are problem-free throughout the 30 days, then I'm just going to keep them both.